The role of lexis or vocabulary in communication is very important because it is considered the heart of language. Um, it is also the basis of other language skills, and it was said in class that without grammar, a little could be conveyed, but without vocabulary, nothing could be conveyed. That is expressing its importance, and that is essential in order to communicate effectively. Uh, Next, it's what it means to know a word, and it depends if you know the forms of a word, its uses, the different meanings, and where to apply it. Those are key factors that can tell if you really know a word. And the next point that is linked to this one is to define form, meaning, and use. And for example, is basically the spelling of a word, its pronunciation, and its word parts that are the morphemes that are making that word. And for meaning is to know it the notative and connotative meaning, and also the different meanings that a same word could have. That if you can notice the difference between those words that are basically the same, but they have different meanings when you're listening to someone or reading it, that is a proof that you really know the different meanings that that word could have. And for use, it depends in the formality that a word has in that vocabulary, and in its, I would say, its collocations and grammatical functions. Yeah. The next point is to explain morphology. And morphology is the study of forms, and it contains words that are units of language which carries meaning, and the morphemes that are the smallest part of language which carries meaning. The morphemes are divided in free morphemes that are the ones who can stand by themselves, and the bound morphemes that cannot stand by themselves. The free morphemes are basically the root or the stem and are divided in lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. The lexical morphemes are the content words such as noun, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, and the functional morphemes are the function words such as pronouns, prepositions, determiners, and conjunctions. And then, as I said, the vowel morphemes are the ones that cannot listen by themselves. I think I already say that. And are the affixes that are divided in prefixes and suffixes. And the prefixes are the derivational morphemes that can change the word forms. It means that can change a verb to a noun or an adjective to an adverb. And the suffixes are the inflectional morphemes that do not change the form of a word, the form that that word has. The verb stays as a verb and the noun stays as a noun. Uh, some examples of suffixes are the possessives, the third persons, the plurals. Basically, it's almost like it is the last morpheme that a word has. And for the last point is to talk about how new words are created. And there are different ways in which people create words. For example, or my, first of all, is borrowing, that is to take a word from another language and use it in your own language. For example, panda, that is an Nepalese word, but it is used here too for the animal. Eh, Asphyxiation, that is basically take another word as a suffix for for other word. For example, to put um, use and make it useful or useless, to change its mean or to give a new word. And then another one is coinage, that is a word that is mostly used by people, that is also considered already a word, like Google it or tweet it. Hmm. Next ones are the onomatopoeias, that are the words for the sounds. For example, in the comics, when it's a bubble says kabam or pop, boom, those are the onomatopoeias. The acronyms are the to take the first letter of each word of a sentence and make it shorter. For example, SAAP, as soon as possible, aka also known as. And clipping is to short a word, that I like to see it as a nickname for a word, to make a word even shorter than that already is. For example, bro for brother, or sis for sister, mate for classmate. And the last one is blending, to put two different words and fuse them together to give birth to a different word. For example, hungry, that would be hungry, and angry, that is a pretty popular term here in Mexico. So I think that's it, and thanks for your attention.